Hi guys, welcome to another episode. In this episode we are going to build such a dust collector. I've seen quite a lot of projects where guys are trying to collect all dust that they have. My approach is a little bit different. I would like to collect as much as I can in the smallest effort and also keep all the features that my miter saw has. So it has a full range, 45 and 60 degrees both sides, full cut, full length of cut. It is easy to maintain and it's also cheap and easy to adjust. If you are interested in details, you are very welcome to watch that episode to the very end. But now let's do tests and see how it works. Everything is set up. There is a dust extractor attached to the back panel. Here I have small pieces. It's a 4x4 centimeters, the same size as this one. And here I have like a 5x10 centimeters, like a 2x4. So let's do some tests. Okay, I just cut two pieces and I will make this as a one shot. Whoa, it's not that easy. There was a dust extractor. And here we have all this dust collected. Yeah, and as you can see, it works pretty well. So now I can do cuts indoor, which is great because winter is coming. So thanks for watching, and if you are interested in details, keep watching. If don't, see you next time. To make that dust collector, I would need, let's start from the wooden parts. So that's not very straight piece of wood, but I have my card for my miter saw, and there's one such piece missing just to have a bigger opening, but now I have to add it kind of reinforcement and also to be able to screw upper parts through the plywood to this wood. So this is the extra part. Here I have 4 pieces like this, and it is let's say level up than recycling because it's a reuse. It used to be part of my dog's toy. You could see this in one of the previous videos about raising puffs, because that toy was replaced by raised puff, and also how to make old wood reusable. I also already have video about it, so you can check it. And here are 2 sizes for the horizontal parts like this. So 2 medium size, 2 short, and 4 long pieces. There's a plywood. For the back I will use 12 millimeters. for the top I will use 6mm plywood, as I don't want to have a big storage on top of it. So that's why it doesn't have to be that strong. So besides the the wooden things, I have two rails like this, and those rails more or less 1 meter long. I will hang the curtain on it. I would have to cut it to the current length, but that I will do later, having that frame already done. Such curtain you could see in a big warehouses or in shops where they have a cooling area with the fruits, vegetables, and so on. So to separate that warm and the cooling zones, they used to separate. It is kind of blue, yeah. So, but it is mostly transparent. I have a few meters, way more than I need because I have some other project in my head, so I bought a little bit more. This is 20 centimeters width. This is 10 centimeters, different color, but I don't mind. And to hang this on the rails for 10 centimeters, I have such clips. There are two elements, so I would have to use rivets. And the same is for 20 centimeters, like this. And yeah, it will be hanging that way. So I will use pocket screws to screw all these things together. I know that some guys don't like, some of guys hates pocket screws, but I think that they are the easiest way to add that frame to already existing card format or so that I have. So I don't mind. I will use pocket screws. If you want to use something else, that's absolutely fine, and that's up to you. All holes for the pocket screws are done, are drilled. In the main beam that will be supporting the whole structure in a cart, I drilled two on the one side and the one on this side. The same on opposite side, on two sides. But in those small pieces, I drilled so far just one on the middle, on the two sides, both sides, and on those long pieces I drilled only at the bottom. That would be the bottom of the whole structure, of the whole frame. So that's why I have just two. If any other will be needed, I can drill it directly on place, but for now I will keep two. I don't want to remove too much material, because adding screws I can remove too much wood, and it might be weaker rather than stronger. So it seems that the basic frame is ready. Now I need to attach this to cart, and yeah, and then trim, cut to the correct length my plywoods, And now I know that I screw one thing. Yeah. I was too hurry. Yeah, anyway. What I did wrong. Those short pieces should be indent to the... Yeah, they should be indent because I have those rails, and those rails have to be flush with that side. So if I will have them here, then I would have to attach those rails here. So that's something that I need to figure out. Maybe I will unscrew those short pieces, move them inside, and then attach rails, or maybe I will attach rails at the bottom of the frame. We'll see. So I decided to keep it that short pieces as they are, from a simple reason. It's reuse of this wood, and this wood can be weakened because of drilling more and more holes, because the screws are self-drilling. So I kept this as it is. The frames will be hanging inside, which is still fine, nothing wrong with it. That's the missing part that I have to attach here, and this will be support for screws coming from that leg, that post. And here I have still place, so I can use my wings, I guess it's called. So support is in place. So now I need to attach that frame to the cart. It's a back panel. So here I have a 12 millimeters scrap of plywood, because I would like to have this side flush, and that edge is the original factory edge. So that's how I will be aligning to this one. Opposite side isn't that straight as this one, because it's a manual cut. So I will start from that side, then I will go to opposite side to do the same. So here is flush, here is 12 millimeters distance. Okay, basic frame attached. So now it's time to do a quick test if my torso has a full wrench. Yep, that's the 60 degrees. And here I have 45. And that's the absolute maximum of that cell. So that works as expected. It's not very solid, but that's not the rack, that's not the storage place, so it's good enough, I think. I have plywood cut to the correct length, 6 millimeters on the top and 12 for the back panel. I'm not extremely happy of the quality of this cut, but it's winter. It's not winter, but it's cold outside, so my table saw is not able to cut it, that big piece of plywood. So it is as it is. It's not critical. There will be a few millimeters gap here, but that's the prototype, and that's for the prototypes are for. Here I have rails already cut to the correct length as well, and they will be attached like this in a front panel, but the back panel is the same width. I also have the trail. The problem is that it is a little bit too long. It's just kind of unexpected, and I don't know how to solve it yet. Maybe I will cut this somewhere here on the middle, we'll see, because now it almost fits. That flat part is fine, but this hook is a little bit too big, and because of it I'm not able to hang that clips here. So I will probably screw this and think about the solution in the future, but that's something to solve for sure. So now I'm going to attach the back panel, then side panels, cut that curtain to the correct length, hang it here, do the same for the front, and then drill a hole for the dust extractor. Okay, so we are very close to finish. The top board is not attached yet, and that's because, let me turn this a bit, it seems to be quite stable now, but I don't want to start tweaking and improving it before I start using it, but maybe because it is flush here, and this piece of wood is the same 4 centimeters width, so those two surfaces are flush. So that's why I can attach piece of plywood like this one, inside of course, not outside, to reinforce and make it more stable if necessary. Now I'm going to trim the curtains and hang them. The clips will be clipped by rivets, so that will take me a few minutes. Curtain is done, and the top is also screwed to the frame. I kept it unscrewed before because I thought it would be too fragile, too unstable, but seems that frame is good enough for now, so I don't have to have access from the top. That's why it is screwed, and I think it can be handy for some small elements that I will be cutting here, or some drawings. Yeah, but that's for future. Here you can see is this curtain, 3 pieces, 20 centimeters each, with some small overlap. That's how it looks, yeah, even in a full 60 degrees. There is the connector to holes for the dust extraction. I do not use the 60 or 45 degrees very often, so in these cases probably I can do some small tweaks. Mostly I use this straight cut like this one, and that hose is covered by these curtains here on the front. Let me turn this a little bit. On the front side I have two 20 centimeters pieces and two 10 centimeters. So now you probably cannot see, but that hose is here, so this piece can hover it even in a full extent, so the dust should go directly. There is a hole on the back panel. I'm going to screw one more piece of plywood like this one. It's not perfectly square because I didn't have a tool big enough to make a hole that size, so I drill as big as I could, and then I trimmed the rest using the router, but I think it's good enough. So that's the end of the hose from my dust extractor. There is one thing that I forgot when I was recording that part. That connection to my dust extractor is that big. It is 68 millimeters outside, and that's the hose that fits perfectly to my miter saw, and outer width is 45 millimeters. So you can see that there's a huge difference, and that hose works way better than this one. This one adds some resistance because of size reduction, and it also adds some resistance because of its length. Yeah, so all those parameters makes those dust extraction way less efficient. So that's why I think that this is a way better solution than using this one. This one is of course way more convenient because of the size of the pipe, of the hose, but this in terms of dust extraction is way better. So go back to the main video. Not collector as this is. And the second piece of plywood should make the bigger support for that plastic part. So I will screw this to the back panel in a few minutes. But mostly I do cuts in that range. So I have full range of my miter saw, all angles, and still all the dust should stay inside. And I know that there will be a lot of dust inside, so at the end of the day, I can take my dust extractor or vacuum cleaner and clean up all the mess inside. That's the purpose of it. So I'm going to dive into this box. But another good thing in that structure, if works, you know already, I don't yet, is that it is very easy. If I need to do anything inside, it's a few seconds, and I have full access. Yeah, maybe impact driver wasn't the best choice for such small screws, but the back panel is done. We are ready to connect it to dust extractor. It's behind me, and see how it works.